Ladies and gentlemen, boys, screw it, Nate. I mean, come on, baseball's back. Let's do it.
We're back, boys.
I'm not doing it. Yeah, we're back. This is exciting, man. So Nate, this is how important this is, I think, to both of us here. I see you are still in your work attire.
Yes.
I am still in my work attire. Granted, I work from home, clocked out of work. You also clocked out of work. We'll say that. I don't know if you're working.
Yes.
You also clocked out of work to get this podcast in and talk some baseball for everybody.
Yes.
So appreciate this.
It is lunch break, but still, we're good.
Yeah. Now I had to ate lunch and everything, but let's go. Baseball's back. I'm excited for this, Nate. I really am. I don't know how long, but we're going to try to keep this short, as short as we can. We got another fantastic podcast coming out tomorrow as well. So you'll get it'll be Ryan Smith. I'll tell you guys now, Ryan Smith's going to jump on the show with us and talk some baseball with us. Had an absolute blast talking with him and his background. But for now, Nate, let's talk Major League Baseball is back. How excited are you? What's the first transaction we see? Blah, 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 blah. Actually,
this is unbelievable.
Let's just, okay. I want to have a plan here. So coming into this, transactions can start happening once all the paperwork goes through.
Tonight,
possibly.
They said tonight. No, they did say tonight around. It might be 7 or 10 o'clock.
Perfect.
I don't know.
This podcast is going out right after we record this, Nate. I'm letting you know. So
yeah. So tonight. It's supposed to be tonight some point. Yes. 10 o'clock Eastern, I think, was the time I saw, but
perfect.
It might be a little bit later.
Yeah. So expect transaction to start tonight. I mean, the Angels actually already signed a minor league free agent. Cody Martinez, I think his name is.
Cody Medeiros from Hawaii. Yeah. White Sox first round pick. I know him pretty well. Yes. Worked out with him before the draft. Him and I had similar advisor, is what we'll say.
Perfect. That's all we need to know. Angels have signed a minor league free agent. But back onto the baseball topic here, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, transactions can start as early as tonight, I think is what it's going to be. If not earlier, if not later. Could happen tomorrow, could happen in the middle of the night. Knowing Major League Baseball, it'll happen
tonight at midnight.
Yeah, tonight at midnight is when it'll go through. But we do have baseball. I mean, just regardless of that, we have baseball. Jeff Passan, and I'm going to read all these tweets. You guys can see it right here. The tweets going here. Opening day is expected to be April the 7th. Again, transactions can happen as soon as tonight is what they are reporting. The final vote, the final vote on everything, because 30 teams had a vote as well as 8 board members. Final vote ended up being 26-12. I don't know what it looked like or anything like that. We're working on possibly getting a player on to talk about it. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to, but my goal is to hopefully try to get a player on and kind of work our way through what exactly happened, because I think it's a very fascinating thing that went on in the background of everything. So as I'm scrolling through here again on Twitter, making sure we have everything covered on this end. Nate, is there anything that you want to discuss real quick besides baseball coming back?
Well, I just want to say huge thing that they got it done today. I believe Rosenthal was the one who tweeted this. He said, as of before you just said it, but it was supposed to be first game was April 14th, and April 15th is Jackie Robinson Day, 75th anniversary of Jackie Robinson Day. So I think it's very, very important that they got this done before that. It would have been a shame to miss the 75th anniversary of Jackie Robinson Day. So
absolutely,
that is huge.
Absolutely. Let's talk transactions first. What's the first transaction that we see the Angels make?
First transaction, I think the Angels make that there will be a trade for. I think they make a trade for a shortstop. I don't know which shortstop it is. I know you've brought up Mondesi. I think that would be a really, really fun get. He could lead off, which the Angels would like. Switch hitting guy. I don't know if that's the guy, but that's who I would like to see at this point. But I think shortstop is going to be the number one priority. I know everyone wants to hear pitching, but they're close enough where we need a shortstop. We can't win without shortstop.
Yep. Spring training, by the way, for those looking that haven't seen it, spring training is supposed to start March the 18th through the 20th. Spring training games. So I believe, and I'm trying to find all the dates for everybody here. We just wanted to come on and talk some baseball with everybody, just because baseball's back. Super excited. If it was me, and I had to say what I agree with you. I think they go get a shortstop first overall, or not overall, but first off is going to be the
first transaction.
First transaction, yes. Again, I'm going to stick on that Nick Ahmed train. I think that it's just a perfect fit. You know, you get a guy who can field his position fairly well. You know, not going to hit all that much, but again, a good fielding shortstop. I think that's the backbone to what every good winning team needs.
The cap
Great
hit
fielding.
is going to be interesting, though. His cap hit's a little high, so either we're getting someone in return who's very helpful to the team right now, because this is a win now team. And I know we don't like to say that. We don't usually say that, but this is a win now team. You have Mike Trout, you have Shohei Ohtani. He's very close to free agency. Mike Trout is, still in his prime. This is a team that needs to win now, and so you've got to make a move or two that makes it feel like we are going to win this year. We can't continue to play for, whenever so and so's contract ends. This is a win now team. Let's see it. Let's see a move that says the Angels are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the American League West this year.
Absolutely, guys. And again, want to talk baseball on here before we get back to the baseball talk. Again, I want to thank everybody for hanging in there with the takeover. Again, taking over, guys. 100%. Like it's happening. I'm telling you, especially with baseball season starting. Right, it has already started. If you guys haven't listened to any of the interviews that we've had on in the past, I don't know, 3 weeks or so like that, just constant interviews. Weeks. Yeah. Go on and listen to all of them. It's fantastic. Absolutely love talking to every single player, and super appreciative that they were able to come on. You can follow us on all our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just look up Talking Halos. Follow myself on Twitter, Jared_Tims, Nate at NateGreen34. And Nate, let's lock in some of these figures that we had from the latest MLB proposal, which I believe was the one that got accepted. There are probably going to be some corrections made to some of these tweets. Some tweaks to the proposal and such like that along the way, but for the most part, I think we have a fairly set CBA, CBT, base is getting bigger, I don't know, type of thing, if that makes sense. And also my dog's about to start barking, so
we're good.
Yeah, we'll make it work. There's a dog barking outside. So the first thing, and this is coming from Ken Rosenthal on the proposal.
So
really, guys, come on, look at this.
So it's factual.
I know, right? Come on, look at this. Get out of here. Yeah, come on. Unbelievable.
We'll edit that out.
We're not going to edit this out. We're going with it. I don't want to edit this. I got to get back to work. I'm kidding. I don't have to work. There's the doggo. All right, guys. So from Ken Rosenthal, luxury tax threshold $230 to $245 over the next 5-year deal. Actually, speaking of this, first off, this is just a 5-year deal, so we could have another lockout in 5 years, huh?
I guess so.
I don't think that'll happen. I hope not, at least. Something will get done, but yeah, we'll see it. The luxury tax threshold at $230 this year. Again, moving up to $244 over the next 40 years. It increases $2 million in the final years from the last offer, if that makes sense to you guys. The pre-arbitration pool is up to $50 million. I believe, I don't know what it's split between. I think I would assume it's probably split between 30 to, probably about 30 players, right? 50 players maybe is what it's probably going to be split.
I don't know what the exact number was.
Yeah. So $50 million pre-arb pool. And then the next big thing here that we are seeing right now is going to be the minimum salaries starting at $700,000 to $780,000 over the next 5 years. Huge thing there for the players as well. I think, what was it last year? 575? Something like that. So that is huge as well. So Nate, out of those three big things, so those are the big three issues I think that had needed to be fixed. What's the biggest one that got fixed?
I think the biggest thing that got fixed out of all this is just the luxury tax going up. I think it allows teams to spend a little bit more money, and it allows, honestly, I think it allows the teams who want to win a little bit more freedom to win, and the teams who don't want to try, they can continue to win 45 games. But this is going to be very helpful because nobody ever wants to pass that tax threshold. They don't want to have to spend more. So I think that's going to be a big thing, because now owners are going to be like, oh, well, I can go up a little bit more, instead of sitting around the 185, 190 mark and saying, I can pick up a guy in the middle of the season for like 10 mil and finish around 205, which is super close. I can probably get closer to that 190, 200 mark, and then have a little bit extra for a mid-season trade or a mid-season acquisition of some sort.
Yes, and on top of that as well, there's baseball season, by the way, if none of you guys have heard that from this podcast yet, but we do have baseball season. International draft, I think, is a thing now as well. I could totally be wrong, so don't quote me on this.
It is a thing, but they have not announced what it's going to look like. They have until July 25th, I believe, is the day to figure out the exact rules and regulations for the draft, but it will not happen until 2024. So there will still be one more year of international free agency, just like this year where the Angels got 16, or did you get up to 17?
International signings?
Yes.
I have them at 22, but I have
22.
not reported them all yet. So
Okay. I know there was 17 at one point, and I know some of them were not quite signed. So anyway, you'll get one more year of that,
which is great. I'm all for it. I think you need a little bit of transition time heading into that. It's going to be super interesting to see this international draft thing, because that means you're gonna have to create jobs down there. That's a lot more scouting, I'll tell you that much. As much scouting as happening up here. So I'm interested to know if we see, in fact, more organization down in the islands with this now, if that makes sense. There's not a lot of organization. Like, I see a lot of videos of guys just going out and throwing and playing scrimmages on the side on very bad fields. But I wonder if now MLB is going to start funding more towards those players, which will be fantastic as well. And I think it's going to open up a lot of jobs down there in the Dominican, and we'll see, maybe, I don't know if they get a schooling type of thing going or how something like that works. But again, international draft, I've been for it for a while. I think this helps the Angels out because
now they have a shot at getting a good player instead of,
yes,
who knows?
I mean, they've gotten good players. Like, I love Errol Rivera.
They have gotten good players, but it feels like they have a legitimate chance to get a guy they like, just because they like him. Not, he really wants to play for the Yankees because everyone everyone in his country wears a Yankee hat. Absolutely. So it does give them a little bit more of a chance to get some guys they like.
Absolutely. So, guys, recap. Opening day is April the 7th, if I'm not mistaken. Get your tickets now. I'm not going to promote that at all, but go start getting your tickets. Super excited for that. Again, on the international side of things, it's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see if it's just the islands. I'm interested to see if it's you bring in Japan to an international draft. I'm interested to see, you bring in Chinese Taipei, China, Australia even. There's a lot of interesting young players down in Australia. I know our boys from across the pond in the UK, there's starting to be some really interesting players. So I don't know. It's very interesting to see how this international draft works. The Bahamas, I know, is huge, and I'm sure that'll be included in some type of draft. Nate, I know you want to say something, but yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how the draft unfolds, right?
I would say that that Japan is not going to be in the draft. That's just my guess, because there's already a deal with Japan on, Major League Baseball teams sending some money over to compensate for taking a kid from the Japanese league. So I would say that will not be in the draft, but I could be wrong. Who knows? They could try and change the way that thing works, but I think you're going to be seeing. I think that the way that teams sign guys are going to be more interesting too. Like, the Albert Pujols signing was big for us. We thought it was a big deal for the international process. So do you get guys like Albert Pujols, Carlos Correa, Adrian Beltre, guys that have played
Puerto Ricans, by the way? I believe that's, or the Venezuela, no, Puerto Ricans, because Puerto Ricans can get drafted. You have the Puerto Rican league down there, or you can technically get drafted out of the high schooler out of Puerto Rico. So that's what Carlos Correa was.
But do you?
Those guys.
Yep.
So
yes, not Pujols Dominican, but anyway, do you get some of those guys and sign them and send them down to their areas and say, hey, go scout for us. After you're done playing for us, we'll give you an extra couple $1,000 million a year or whatever it is. You're going to go down and you're going to be our extra scout that's going to go to the Dominican and 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 Venezuela and places like that, and go find us another guy who's going to be the next you, and then report back to us and see if we can go get a steal in the draft.
Absolutely.
That's going to be interesting.
Oh, definitely, 100%. I also think, yeah, no, I'm super intrigued. And on the Albert Pujols front, he came to the United States. I think he went to school in St. Louis or something like that as well.
He did. But he was from the Dominican.
Yeah, no, definitely from the Dominican. Yeah, so I think that's all we really got to talk about. On the rumor mill side of things for the Angels, I'd like to kind of discuss this a little bit more. I think we see the Angels trade for a pitcher as well. Huge time. I definitely think we see the Angels trade for a pitcher. I don't know who it's going to be. I'd say it gets done this week though. That's how confident I am that there is actually a trade in place. That I think one of the first moves we see after the shortstop, because I think that we do see a shortstop get traded for. I think the Angels make a trade for a starting pitcher. I don't know who it's going to be. It could be somebody from. It could definitely be somebody from Cincinnati. It could definitely be somebody from the Yankees. It could definitely be somebody from the Oakland Athletics. I don't know which direction it goes. If I had to lean, I'd say it's somebody from Cincinnati, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what your say is on that one. What?
I hope it's Oakland. That would be my guess is Oakland. I think Cincinnati's price tag is way too high. I think Oakland is looking to get young, and
well, you're looking one dimensional in Cincinnati. There's another two guys there.
Oh, I know. Well. No, but the price tag, no matter who you're trying to get in Cincinnati, the price tag is sky high. Whether you're trying to get Tyler Mahle, Sonny Gray, the Tyler Mahle, like he's a career 3.5, 3.6 ERA. Like he's a number 3 starter. Very good. They want number 1 starter for him. Like
you're not going to get that.
I'm not going to give that to him.
No.
But there's going to be a team desperate enough to do it.
Speaking of that, Miami as well, by the way. In the
Miami, I would be fine with Miami. I'd be fine with Oakland. I think Oakland makes the most sense. I know people don't like to trade within the division, but we have with them multiple times. And I think Oakland's just wanting to get players that are going to be 18, 19, 20 years old, where Cincinnati's wanting guys that, could be helping the Angels this year. And I don't think the Angels want to do that. They want to give up their kids and go get a guy who's going to help them win a AL West crown this year, maybe win a playoff series or two, and hopefully a World Series. So
absolutely,
that would be my thing. My one question to you is, who is the first big name free agent to come off? Freddie Freeman, Carlos Correa, Chris Bryant.
Freddie Freeman's probably the first guy. I was going to say Carlos Rodon, but I don't know if we consider him a big name free agent. He's the best starting pitching free agent right now in this. If I'm
debatable.
Not mistaken. Debatable for sure, but the biggest name as that. I mean, he had a pretty good year last year. I say Freddie Freeman though. I think Freeman goes back to Atlanta. I don't think there's a way they let him go. I know there's a lot of speculation about other places.
I think he ends up in pinstripes.
I know. I think there's a lot of speculations in different places, but I think at the end of the day, you almost have to bring him back. It's a Chipper Jones thing, Chipper Jones, Freddie Freeman. I think Dale Murphy was another lifelonger there. Hank Aaron was basically a lifelonger. I think he went and played for the Brewers for like 10 games or something like that. And I'm sure like John Smoltz, another one I think was basically there his whole career minus like 1 or 2 years.
He was traded from Detroit there. So
I mean,
but then he finished with St. Louis. He finished with St. Louis and Boston. He was all over the place. But
I'm saying, like those big 10-year guys that are going to be that are Hall of Famers or that are going to be Hall of Famers. I mean, Freddie Freeman's on the Hall of Fame pace.
Yeah.
So
the one thing for Freddie Freeman to stay in Atlanta, the luxury tax going up is huge. The Braves are already at the highest amount they've ever paid any team. So the luxury tax going up will allow them to go get him. I think the first
World Series or anything last year either. So
yeah, but nobody cares about that.
Just a stupid trophy.
Exactly. Just ask Rob Manfred. My bad. I think Carlos Correa is the first guy off. I think Boris is going to want to make sure his guy gets signed. And I think that's going to be the first one because Boris likes to make money, and that's going to be the most money.
I like making money as well. So on top of that, we mentioned the playoffs a little bit. 12-team, 14-team. I didn't see an official word on that. Was it 14 still?
I did not. I did not see anything. Yeah. I'm hoping 12 is the answer because that's what it should be.
Yeah, but it seems like this is the way I'm looking at it. The owners gave up a lot, and I air quote that for you guys not watching on YouTube. The owners gave up a lot in this whole thing.
12-team postseason.
Is it okay? That's what I was going to say. I was thinking it might be a 14 team, but good to see 12 team. I didn't end up seeing what
Universal DH. Look for National League teams to be very hot on some of these position players.
That's big on the Justin Upton front as well. By the way, if you think about it that way, I know
he still has a no trade clause, so good luck with that.
But there's got to be there's got to be an NL team that's close to contending. That's like, hey, let's get an extra bat. And you look, and the Angels, you wouldn't have to pay much. You wouldn't have to give up much.
You're right. I'm sure a contending team like the Dodgers or, the Braves are really going to want to bring in a guy who hit 211 last year.
No, think about it. Like, no, Justin Upton could fit on the Braves. I'm just letting you know, not the Dodgers. You're right. No, but think about it. What is a close contending team? What's an NL team that is close to contending? Cincinnati?
Cincinnati's not close.
I'm trying to think. What the Chicago Cubs? No.
The Brewers are close. The Cardinals are close. The Padres, the Dodgers, the Giants, the Phillies.
A lot of those guys are in need of a DH. I wouldn't say the Padres. And without looking at rosters, I'm just saying it opens up a possibility of a Justin Upton trade. It opens up the possibility of an Upton.
I want to pay $25 million for a 211 hitter. If I'm trying to make the playoffs, that's what I want to do.
Here's the thing. No. Well, here's the thing though too. You split the amount of money. And I know, Nate, I know you're laughing and having a fun time over there, but
always
it opens up the possibility of a Justin Upton trade. I don't know if it's possible. I don't think it's a huge possibility, but it opens it up for sure. It opens the door to more teams that possibly might need something like that. That if the Angels eat half of his contract, what is he making, 25 next year? If the Angels eat 15 of it, you're paying $10 million to.
And we're still getting a 27-year-old reliever who's the highest he's played is high A, and you're still paying.
You're saving money. You're
saving $10 million when the luxury tax is going up. You might as well just eat the contract.
I'm thinking like Artie Moreno here, right?
Just eat the contract and hope he actually hits.
Oh, I'm cool with that too. Exactly.
I've been saying
that for a while. I've been saying that for a while, Nate. And you've been like, oh, Justin Upton, blah blah blah.
Well, he still can't hit, but I mean, we can hope. I mean, where's Ron Washington in the room where we can be like, hey, just teach him to play first base. It's not that hard. It's incredibly hard.
Incredibly hard. Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
That's what we need.
No, yeah, on that front, I don't want to keep us here too long, Nate. So, you got any final thoughts here? Baseball's back. I'm excited. We're gonna get some spring training. I got a big 65-inch TV I can start watching stuff on. So,
baseball's back. Let's go.
Let's go.
Angels are about 2 guys away from being competitive. I think competitive to win the AL West, not just be a playoff team.
They need a starting pitcher and they need a shortstop, and I think you're close. I think the Angels are an 85-win team with that, and that I think gets you close to the playoffs.
Maybe 87.
87. I think you're close if you get a starting pitcher, and I think you need you need a shortstop. So, guys, as always, thank you so much for listening to the podcast and watching us. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already on YouTube. Again, thanks for all the support out there. Takeover is happening. We're still getting players on. We're still getting interviews. If you guys haven't listened to the Sam Blum interview before this, go listen to that. It was fantastic talking with him. Again, Ryan Smith tomorrow. I got Jim Passan coming on later in the week. I know we got a bunch more players coming on. We're going to have reporters coming on. Guys, just come on, hang in there. It's baseball season. I'm excited. I don't got to worry about anything else. So, guys, thank you so much for listening and have a great rest of your day.